I received an email from Rex in California today asking about transitioning from pediatric CF center to adult CF center. Well, Rex, I transitioned many, many years ago and things were different back then. Today we're going to speak to Jillian and see what it's like transitioning from pediatric to adult center.
My name is Jillian Monitello. I'm 21 years old and I was born and raised in Staten Island, New York. My doctors and my parents, they started talking to me about transitioning around when I was 18 years old. So at first I was kind of nervous about it, the way they did everything there, and I said, oh, how are they going to do everything when I go to a different center? And they prepared me well. One way that they did prepare me was they told me, when you come in here, we want you to know all the amounts of your medication, the milligrams and all the doses. And they told me, you could bring it in written down, but we would prefer that you knew it. I started to transition when I was 20 years old, and I went to Columbia Presbyterian, and I spoke, with Dr. Domingo and met with her, and it was just really us in the room at first, and she did all my history. We wrote everything down. She had all my records sent from my pediatric doctor. She said that she had wanted me to come back in about a month, but that I would go and see my pediatric doctor in between the two visits. I felt very comfortable going in there. I was doing that for 20 years now. I had to change and do something that I wasn't used to. They did everything the same way the pediatric center did things. By transitioning, I also became more independent. Every appointment I have to make and everything, now I make them on my own. For the most part, I really enjoy the change. The pros of transitioning, to an adult center is that as you become an adult, there's things that the pediatric doctor can no longer help you with. And, at first I told Dr. Mann, I said, I really don't want to transition. She said, as the disease progresses, things get more complicated and they see so much more of it up in an adult center. Now you're an adult and it's time for you to transition and let them take over. When I transitioned, there was no cons switching over to the adult center. What I would say to others transitioning is that you kind of have to trust in your doctor and what your doctor is telling you, and to not be scared to transition, because for the most part it's not going to be much of a difference. Everybody does pulmonary function tests, they always do your weight, the doctor always examines you, but for the most part there's nothing to be scared about.
Got questions for Jerry? Send them to us. If you're on Facebook, you can find us at facebook.com/Boomer-Esiason Foundation. You can Twitter us at twitter.com/cystic fibrosis. And you can also send an email to jcahillbef@aol.com. When Jerry answers your question, we'll credit you for it. So get busy and send them in. Nothing within the CF Windsprint video series should be considered medical advice. Such advice can only be given by a physician who is experienced with cystic fibrosis. The Boomer-Esiason Foundation, Jerry Cahill, and contributors to the CF Windsprint video series cannot be held responsible for any damage which may result from using the information on this video without permission of your medical doctor.